Hi there, good morning. Nick's asked me to talk a little bit about my connections with the Hands Up project, and that I guess goes back to my first trips to Palestine, and I can't remember when, but I was involved in the consultation work for the second edition of English for Palestine, along with Adrian Underhill and Simon Greenall. And that got my interest in the region going, although I had a long background with the Arab world, having taught in Egypt for a long time. And I did 2 or 3 trips, I think, to the West Bank, and including a conference, 2 conferences in Ramallah. And I was invited back and I couldn't, so I suggested that Nick, who had been doing work in Pakistan, might be interested, and Nick went, and the rest is history. And so I've followed very closely right from the beginning the development of the Hands Up project, and it's been a project very dear to my heart. I mean, not just for the goodness that it's doing for especially the children in Gaza who would otherwise have no contact with the outside world via English, but also because it sort of enshrines various principles of language teaching, which I've always felt very committed to. That is the use of interaction, of creativity, of real communication, that is to say communication over a gap with real interest on both sides to bridge that gap. And you have a real gap when you think about how children in schools in Gaza are separated off from the rest of the English-speaking world. And the way that the ideas that Nick has come up with, and which are brilliantly realized by a whole host of volunteers, is really so exciting, and it's kind of so interesting now, of course, that so much of language teaching and education generally has suddenly had to discover remote learning, that is to say online interaction. And really Hands Up's been doing this for years and doing it extremely successfully. So from all points of view, it ticks lots of boxes, and I'm so proud to be associated with it. And I invite those of you who are not yet involved to climb on the bus, because it's the place to be.